Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island Season 11, Episode 10. Why was everybody upset at that recoupling? Like, nobody was happy. Outside of Nicole and Kieran and Joey and Samantha, everybody else was kind of annoyed. But anyways, before we get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So as we know from the last episode, Patsy and Manveer have been dumped, and Omar tells Patsy that he will catch up with her on the outside. Will you? Will you really? Okay. Sure. So after that, everyone talks about being grateful that they're still in the villa. Sean talks to Omar and he basically says this has been a wake-up call for him and he's now going to kick things into high gear.
I feel like you never know what's around the corner in this place. I know the odds ain't in my favour. Today's probably brought them a bit closer together. She likes the bad boy energy from Ron. Like, she can't tolerate that, surely.
Oh, Sean. You would be surprised how many women will choose the bad guy over the nice guy every time. Every time. Okay. Joey and Samantha joke about Samantha being the reason why they are still in the villa, but we know, and she knows, that she has hitched her wagon to the meal ticket. If Joey doesn't get rid of her, and the end of the episode was just mwah, not even the end of the episode, the trailer for the next episode, I was like, yes, give Joey a real challenge, okay? Because if Joey doesn't dump Samantha, she's in the final. No questions asked. But we know that he's not going to stick with Samantha. Like, let's be for real. She then talks to Nicole and Jess about the Ronnie love triangle.
He was like, I'm just not ready to make that decision yet. But I think that's an audacity. Like, I feel like that's the decision made and I can't be arsed. I just can't be arsed. Like, I feel like I just want to just pull away. Why would you do that? I won't put it on the outside.
Jess is realizing that no answer is an answer. You literally do not have to wait for somebody to give you an answer if you don't like waiting. If you're okay with waiting, that's one thing. If you are not here for waiting, you don't have to wait. You can move on, especially for Jess, since she had another option. There's no problem with moving on. Like, you got something else secured. And it looks like Sean is going to stick around, at least for the time being. We know this man likes sloppy seconds. I don't know if he's going to do that thing again. But right now, he's focused on Jess. So Jess has options. If one option isn't suiting you, go for the other one. They think that if Ronnie picks Jess, he'll be all in on her, whereas if he picks Harriet, he will basically do this thing that he's been doing with them all over again. And I'm thinking, what makes you think that? Because Jess isn't any better than Harriet in this situation. Harriet stuck around and so did Jess. He could give either one the runaround all over again. They're obviously saying this because they don't like Harriet, but I'm like, Harriet isn't a lesser woman than Jess. Jess stuck around just as long as Harriet did. While the girls are getting ready for bed, Harriet is joking about the love triangle, and both Uma and Jess say, nope, don't include me in that conversation.
Still here in our triangles.
I'm not in it anymore.
What?
I'm worth so much more than somebody who isn't sure on me, so you're not batting it off, you're enjoying the situation.
You also want the situation because otherwise you would
I'm
to
not saying I'm not.
I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of this conversation, I was wondering why the hell Harriet was pressed, because Jess just said she's fallen back. You won. I thought that was the whole thing. But then Jess always has to add comments that are unnecessary, and honestly, sometimes I rate it because I feel like that's like the savagery that we tend to like on the show. But other times I'm like, you are acting as if you are better than Harriet, and really you aren't. Because in this conversation, she says, well, I know you've loved the back and forth, you love the drama or whatever. And Harriet is obviously annoyed. And I'm thinking, yeah, she might have liked that, but you kind of liked it too. You were reveling in the fact that he was spending time with you and kissing you in bed, and you were so quick to call Harriet a liar when Harriet wasn't lying. She relayed to you exactly what Ronnie said. So Harriet likes the drama, but you don't? When you were both in the situation and both putting up with it? Like, come on, Jess. Yeah, anyways, when it comes to Harriet, I do feel like she enjoys a little bit of the chase. So I wonder if part of her frustration was that Ronnie is good in theory, like the excitement, the sneaking around, the thrill of it all. But now to actually be committed to him, it might not be what she wants. I don't know. That's just something that crossed my mind. In bed, Nicole and Kieran agreed to be closed off. Honestly, these two, I like it. They're so cute. Every time in bed, these two are cuddled up like koalas. I'm here for it. I do like it. In the morning, we have Harriet, who encourages Sean to pursue things with Jess by way of coffee and cookies. Of course, she's going to do that so she can have Ronnie to herself. In my opinion, she could have just been looking out for another girl in the villa. We don't know. Mimi is upset that her best friend was dumped over her competition. Interesting. Ronnie thinks there's nothing wrong with being conflicted because he likes both of his options. And Io co-signs that, even adding that there's more women to come that might even be better than the women who are already in the villa, which is true. But keeping my eyes on Io and Ronnie. Definitely keeping my eyes on those two. Sean and Jess talk by the pool, and he wants to know if his efforts are going anywhere.
Am I making the right footsteps?
You are, yeah, absolutely. Who deserves to really find someone.
Well, I'm looking right at her. In here, I've sort of waited for other people. Like, if I was putting in the work from day one with you, we could be, you know, smoochy,
I feel like as well,
Gucci.
You're just desperate for that smooch.
I like how direct Sean is, but I haven't forgotten that he does swoop in and steal some sloppy seconds. Haven't forgotten that. So far, he does seem to be a sweet boy, both literally and figuratively, because he does sell sweets. So I say give it a try. You know, Jess even says, if I was to bring somebody home, you would be the type of guy who I would bring. So bring him. He's right here. He's offering himself on a platter. It's an easy win. Explore the connection. I do think that she does lean more towards an edgier guy, a guy who is basically an F-boy. Is Sean that? Based on the Sean that we've seen, it doesn't seem like it. Will she get bored of him? Maybe, but right now he's a viable option, so I feel like she should just go for it. Uma pulls Io for a chat to tell him that she is removing herself from the throuple.
I'm just gonna remove myself from the situation. I think it's best. I don't want you to be feeling like you've done something wrong. Yeah. I don't know, I feel like you've got a stronger connection with me, and I don't really want to come in between that.
If you want to remove yourself, then it's fully understood.
I feel like I need to protect myself. I just have to focus on the way I've been made to feel rather than someone's intention.
Thank God. I'm tired of the story. So tired of it. It is literally a choice to be stuck in a love triangle. You don't have to be there. It is not by force. So yeah, she's out of there. I love that for me. Mimi, before she hears that Uma has removed herself, is saying that the situation annoys her because she's done all that she can. She has proved herself to the utmost level. If he still doesn't want her, then she's just gonna have to fall back. What more is there for her to do? And I do hear what she's saying. At this point, for Io to still be conflicted, it doesn't make any sense. And the hope is that now that Uma has made her decision, that Io was going to choose Mimi anyways, because if he wasn't, that's another can of worms in itself. So Io now talks to the guys, and he seems to not be impressed with Uma's decision.
Mimi's gone about it in a lot better way.
You're not wrong, bro.
She's bored of waiting. Because...
But what answer, though? What answer are they looking for, though? No. What I don't get is her coming over saying, continue to get to know each other. Rare. It's just she wants to be the only one.
Io. What woman would not want to be the only one? Nah, he lost me there. If he had said, Uma just wants to win out over Mimi, that's a separate conversation. And maybe that's what he was implying. But for him to be like, she just wants to be the only one. Yeah, no duh. Why would you want to be in a situation where you're fighting for second or fighting at all? Be for real. This man, oh Lord. Anyways, he said in the beach hut that he understands he could be left empty-handed, meaning neither woman would end up sticking around with him. So he must have known that this back and forth would get tired very quickly. Joey and Samantha go on a date, and he tells her that he's ready for something serious and long-term.
I've had a lot of relationships, but I've only had there's only I would say a few that have been really serious. I'm looking for something more serious, not not something just like a fling.
She brought us up, 2 jobs, 3 kids.
So your mum's clearly very, very strong. Are you happy with where things are going?
Yeah, of course I am.
Yeah?
I feel like we're going in the right direction, aren't we?
If you did have a better connection with someone else, I would never get in your way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Vice versa.
I wonder if the definition of strong is the same in the white community as it is in the black community. Because let me tell you something. If a man commends my mother's strength and then my strength, it sounds like a life of pain and suffering is ahead for me. We are trying to run away from that whole, you're so strong. And I love that. I love a strong woman. What kind of strength? Because sometimes strength to these men means long suffering. Okay? I'm glad that he appreciates Samantha's strength, but I hope it's something other than I can put you through the ringer and you're still going to stick beside me through it all. Oh, hell no. So anyways, Joey says that he's happy in this couple. It seems like he genuinely means it. Seems like it. But he later on tells the guys he is nowhere near locked off at all. So we'll see who they send in and if his head turns. And based off the trailer, it looks like it does. Harriet speaks to Ronnie, and Jess, who said that she excused herself from the situation, is still pressed.
I'm going to speak to Ronnie.
Did you not listen? We're trying to see if we can hear this conversation. Shush.
Nice to be just talking to, obviously, you just normally without. I'd like to do my own thing, do you know what I mean? When I speak to you. Like, I ain't gonna be following you around all day like a dog.
I can hear him now. He's sat up, so let's stop with the munching for a minute. 3, 2, 1, stop.
You were good the other day.
When?
In this little teaching outfit. Did you think it was bad?
What?
When I pulled you over the table.
Jess, are you not aware that you said you're done with the triangle? Why do you care what Harriet's doing? Like, are you upset that it's Harriet, or are you upset that he didn't pick you first? Because I felt like you've already decided. So what Harriet decides to do with Ronnie is none of your business. Like, why do you care this much about Harriet specifically? If her frustration was with Ronnie, fine, but Harriet chose to go talk to him. So why are you, I don't know. I don't know. Jess, you're kind of losing me here. But anyways, Ronnie speaks to Harriet a lot about their sexual connection. And I wonder if there's anything more than that. Realistically, even on Love Island, people say, oh, we want love, we want love. Some people just want to smash. Let's be for real, okay? So if they end up just being what was I going to say? I was going to say F buddies, but I don't want to say the F word. I feel like Ronnie is the type of guy to have like post-nut clarity and you never see him again. Maybe I'm the only one who feels that way, but I'd be careful getting into a situation with Ronnie who has only affirmed you in sexual ways and hasn't really dug deep with you. There were a few conversations that I did not care for. Sorry. So we're just going to fast forward to the recoupling. Nicole picks Kieran. Jess picks Sean because she's the prize, guys. I don't know if you heard, but Jess is the prize in case you missed it, okay? I feel like a part of her was giving this speech the way that she did because she wanted to get back at Ronnie for the speech he gave to her. I could be tripping, but that's my impression. Uma picks Omar. Harriet picks Ronnie, but they both looked unimpressed. And then Mimi chose Ayo, and they also looked unimpressed. And I was like, what's going on in the villa? And lastly, Samantha chose Joey. Now, I saw some people online after seeing the trailer, like the trailer for this episode, that it should have been the guys picking. And I agree. The guys are the ones who are conflicted. And I guess it makes more sense because both the girls in triangles have kind of made the decision, like Jess and Uma, they've already made the decision, so it doesn't really matter. But I would have liked to hear the guy say explicitly, I'm choosing this person because of X, Y, and Z, so we can finally dead the what ifs, you know? But anyways, there are 2 new ladies and a man joining the villa. I think both the women are blondes. And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the guys in the beginning said they like blondes, but there was only one blonde in the villa at the time. So it'll be interesting to see whose head turns where. If I'm looking at the guy, I feel like, oh, poor Patsy. I think she would have liked him. Shame. I feel like Jess will like him. I feel like Harriet would like him. Who else is in there? Oh, Nicole is locked off. She's not looking at anybody. I genuinely think she's locked off for real. I believe her when she says that. Would Samantha look in his direction? I don't know. Would she want to jeopardize her meal ticket like that? I don't think so. Anyways, we'll see what happens. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.